Here's the English version in a natural American spoken style, as if Dr. David Warren is talking directly to the viewer. You know, after more than 30 years of working with adults over 50, I've noticed something both interesting and a little sad. Most of us honestly believe that, as long as we walk every day, we're doing enough. A lot of my patients still tell me, "Doctor, I walk 5,000 steps every single day, so why are my legs still weak? Why am I still slow getting up? Why do I wobble when I turn?" And every time I hear that, it reminds me of something I see in the clinic every day. Aging doesn't really knock us down because we're slower. It knocks us down because our movements become too limited. Walking is great. I always encourage it. But if walking is like one familiar song, then after 60, your body actually needs a full orchestra to stay strong, flexible, and safe. Why is that? Because after 60, there are three major changes that walking alone simply can't fix. First, the key muscles that keep you balanced, like your hip muscles, deep back muscles, and calves, slowly fall asleep if you don't actively wake them up. That's why some people walk very faithfully, but the moment they change direction a little too quickly, they get unsteady. Second, your reflexes slow down. The problem is, walking doesn't provide enough training signals to your brain to teach it how to coordinate your body when you turn, reach, or try to catch yourself from a fall. Weak reflexes, sure, easier falls even if you walk every day. Third, your bones and joints need different kinds of loading to stay strong. Walking gives you just one type of load, which means your bones, especially around the hips and lower back, never get fully stimulated. What I want you to know is this: you don't need to work out more, you need to work out smarter. And that's exactly why I made this video. I'm Dr. David Warren, I'm 60 years old, and in today's video, I'm going to share the exercises I regularly prescribe to my older patients. The ones that help them stand steadier, walk with more confidence, turn without wobbling, and most importantly, stay independent in their daily lives. These exercises are not complicated. They don't require any equipment, and they're perfect for anyone who thinks, "I'm too old to change now." Trust me, your body is still capable of far more recovery than you might think. If you want to feel lighter when you stand up, more comfortable when you walk, and more secure when you turn without worrying about losing your balance, the next few minutes will be very important. Exercise 1, gentle hip bridge activation, reactivating your hip-spine balance system. One of the quiet but risky changes after 60 is that the hip muscles start to weaken. Older adults often think the problem is their knees or ankles, but when I really check, the real culprit is usually the hips. Weak hips shorten your stride, throw off your balance, and make it harder to get up from a chair. And walking, while helpful, does not fully activate the deep hip muscles, like the gluteus medius, or the lower back muscles. That's why the first exercise I want you to try is a very gentle movement, the hip bridge. Why this exercise works so well after 61. 1. It wakes up the deep hip muscles, your body's shock absorbers. These muscles help you stay steady when you walk over uneven ground or turn your body. When they're weak, your knees and lower back have to compensate, which leads to pain and an unstable gait. Hip bridges target these muscles directly without putting extra pressure on your joints. 2. It stabilizes your lower back. Your lower back is the communication hub between your upper body and lower body. When you lie down and lift your hips, the nerves in that area finally get a break from all the constant tightness, something walking doesn't fix. Many of my patients tell me after just 2 weeks of doing this exercise, "Doctor, my back feels so much lighter in the morning." 3. It makes standing up and sitting down easier. Your ability to get up out of a chair is one of the most important signs of functional health. To do that smoothly, you need a strong muscle chain from your back, hips, hamstrings. The hip bridge is one of the simplest ways to wake up that entire chain. How to do it safely for older adults. Lie on your back on a bed or an exercise mat. Bend your knees and place your feet about 8 to 10 inches, 20-25 cm, away from your hips. Place your arms by your sides, palms facing down. Take a slow breath in and gently lift your hips until you feel a firm but comfortable stretch in the back of your hips. No pain. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Breathe out and lower down slowly with control. Do 10-12 repetitions for 2 sets, resting 30 seconds between sets. If it feels too hard, don't lift as high and shorten the hold time. If you want more challenge, hold for 5 seconds or try lifting one leg while keeping your hips level. Dr. Warren's tip. Think of this exercise as your body's start button. A lot of people believe a good workout has to be heavy or sweaty, but after 60, the right workout is the one that wakes your muscles up, not the one that wears them out. Try doing hip bridges in the morning or before your walk. You'll notice your steps feel more stable and lighter. Exercise 2. Wall-supported single-leg head rotations. Waking up your inner balance system, vestibular system. Over more than 3 decades of watching older patients move, I've noticed something very specific. A lot of balance problems don't show up when people are walking straight. They show up when they turn their head. Someone calls your name, or you glance to the side while you're walking, and suddenly your body feels like it can't keep up with the movement. The problem isn't in your muscles, it's in your inner ear, where your vestibular system lives. This system tells your brain where your body is in space. After about age 70, it declines faster than most people realize, slowing your reactions and even causing dizziness when you look side to side. Walking does not train the vestibular system, but this exercise does. Why this exercise is so important. 1. It speeds up your brain's reactions. When you stand on one leg and turn your head, your brain is forced to recalculate your position in a split second. It's an excellent way to train your ability to quickly adjust your posture, which is exactly what helps you avoid sudden falls. 2. It retrains eye-brain muscle coordination. When you're younger, your eyes move, your brain processes, your muscles respond almost instantly. After 60, that chain slows down. This exercise helps reboot that chain, almost like updating the software of your balance system. 3. It reduces that wobbly feeling when you look to the side. Many patients tell me, "Doctor, I walk just fine, but when I turn my head, I feel like I'm tipping over." That's a clear sign that the vestibular system isn't keeping up with how fast the eyes are moving. This exercise goes right at the root of that problem. How to do it safely for seniors. Stand sideways next to a wall, about half an arm's length away. The foot closest to the wall is your standing leg. Gently lift the other foot so the toes are 1-2 inches, 2-3 centimeters off the floor. Keep your eyes looking straight ahead. Slowly turn your head to the left, then to the right. Hold each side for 1 second. Do 10 repetitions, then switch legs. If this is too hard, let the non-supporting foot lightly touch the floor. If you want more challenge, turn your head about 10-15% faster. If you're prone to dizziness, make the turning smaller and slower. Dr. Warren's tip. Don't think of this as some easy little move. This is one of the most powerful exercises for improving real-world balance. When you go to the market, read price labels, turn to answer someone, or look around in a busy place, you're using this system every second, just 2-3 times a week, and you'll start to feel that turning becomes smoother, more confident, and far less wobbly. Exercise 3. Wall-assisted calf raises, strengthening the ankles and your anti-fall reflexes. One of the most forgotten joints after 60 is the ankle. Many of my patients walk every day, but when I examine them, their ankles are almost stiff, their movement range is small, and their balance reactions are very slow. I often tell them, strong legs start with strong ankles. Weak ankles cause you to take shorter steps, drag your feet, struggle going up steps, trip on rugs or little edges, and most importantly, react too slowly when you slip. Walking doesn't create enough load to truly train the muscles around the ankle. That's why I almost always include wall calf raises in my patients' programs. They're simple, safe, and very effective. Why this exercise matters after 60. 1. It strengthens your Achilles tendon and calf muscles. These are your natural safety straps when you step up, step down, or catch yourself from a stumble. The stronger they are, the faster your reflexes, the lower your fall risk. 2. It improves ankle flexibility. When your ankles move well, it becomes much easier to turn, pivot, or step to the side. I had a 68-year-old patient who told me after just 3 weeks of doing this, "Doctor, I can go up the stairs now, and my legs don't feel heavy like before." 3, it boosts blood flow in your legs. Every time you lift and lower your heels, your calf muscles work like a little pump, pushing blood back up toward your heart. The result? Less fatigue in your legs, less swelling. Standing for longer feels easier. How to do it safely and easily? Here's how. Stand facing a wall with your fingertips lightly touching the wall for balance. Feet hip-width apart. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, shifting weight toward your toes. Hold for 1 to 2 seconds and feel a gentle squeeze in your calves. Lower your heels very slowly over about 3 seconds. Do 12 to 15 repetitions for 2 sets. If it's too hard, place a chair behind you so you feel secure. If it's too easy, try doing it on one leg at a time. If you tend to cramp, use a smaller range of motion and make sure you're well hydrated. Dr. Warren's tip I always tell my patients, if you want to walk strong, start with the smallest joints. This little exercise will help you stand up more easily, walk more steadily, and feel much less wobbly when you change direction. Doing it just 3 times a week is usually enough to feel a real difference. Exercise 4, controlled chair. Touch builds strength for standing up and sitting down. When we talk about health after 60, there's one movement I pay very close attention to: how you stand up and sit down. This isn't just a daily action. It's a powerful indicator of your strength, balance, and even how independent you can stay. In my checkups, I often ask patients to simply stand up from a chair and sit back down, and I keep seeing the same patterns. Some people pop up too fast, some drop into the chair like they're falling into it, and others shift their weight unevenly as they move. Walking doesn't really train these skills because it's mostly straight-line movement. Standing up and sitting down, on the other hand, requires multi-directional control and coordination between your hips, thighs, back, and nervous system. That's why I teach a variation I call the controlled chair touch. It helps you relearn how to move your body in a safer, more intentional way. Why this exercise works so well for older adults? 1. It takes pressure off your knees. Unlike a deep traditional squat, this move doesn't ask you to go very low. Instead, you just lightly touch your hips to the chair and stand back up right away. That light touch reduces the strain on your knees while still building strength in your hips and thighs. 2. It improves control, the number 1 factor for preventing falls. When you move from standing to sitting, your brain has to constantly adjust your center of gravity. This exercise helps retrain your brain to control how fast you move, how far you go, and where your weight is. That means smoother standing up, sitting down without wobbling, and better body control when you change direction. 3. It activates your glutes, the main engine of your lower body. Weak glutes slow your walking speed, make stairs harder, and increase your risk of losing balance. The controlled chair touch trains these muscles to work effectively without overloading your lower back. How to do it safely. Choose a sturdy chair without wheels. Stand about 4 to 6 inches, 10-15 centimeters in front of the chair, feet about shoulder width apart. Reach your arms forward to help with balance. Slowly lower your hips back until your butt just lightly taps the seat. Don't fully sit. Hold for 1 second and feel your hips and thighs working. Press through your heels and stand up tall. Repeat 8 to 12 times for 2 to 3 sets. If your knees are sensitive, take a slightly wider stance. If your back is weak, keep your spine straight. Avoid rounding your back. If you want more challenge, do alternating single-leg chair touches. Dr. Warren's advice: don't rush this. Slow, controlled reps are what teach your body how to make every transition safer. After just a few weeks, most people notice it's easier to stand up. They don't need to push off with their hands as much. Their legs don't shake when they sit down, and they feel less afraid of losing their balance when changing positions. One of my 74-year-old patients told me, "Doctor, just being able to stand up without grabbing the armrest makes me feel 10 years younger." And I truly believe you can feel that way too. Exercise 5, cross-body reach and tap. Stabilize your spine and sink your hands and feet. One of the early signs of aging that people rarely notice is the loss of coordination between the hands, feet, and eyes. You might feel steady when walking straight, but the moment you have to quickly reach for something or twist to grab an item behind you, your body hesitates. It loses rhythm for a moment. Walking doesn't train that, but the cross-body reach and tap does. Gently, safely, and it's perfect for anyone over 60. Why this exercise matters after 60. 1. It boosts communication between both sides of your brain. Every time your right hand taps your left knee or your left hand taps your right knee, your brain has to process information across both hemispheres. This kind of cross-body movement helps speed up your reaction time, improve your sense of direction and body position, and reduce that out-of-sync feeling. Some research suggests that cross-body exercises can help older adults with short-term memory and concentration in everyday life. 2. It strengthens your core without getting on the floor. Not everyone is comfortable lying down to exercise. This move lets you train your core while standing in a way that feels very similar to real life. Reaching, carrying bags, closing a car door, grabbing things from a shelf. When your core is strong, your posture is more upright, your back hurts less, and turning your body becomes safer. 3. It loosens your hips and strengthens your legs. Every time you gently lift a knee, the muscles around your hip joint kick in. Over time, this helps improve your walking speed, make stairs easier, and increase stability when standing on one leg. How to do it? Simple but powerful. Stand tall with your feet about hip width apart. Gently lift your left knee about 4 to 6 inches, 10 to 15 centimeters off the ground. Reach your right hand toward your left knee and tap it, without rounding your back too much. Lower back down slowly. Now lift your right knee and tap it with your left hand. Alternate sides for 12-16 reps per side. If you're new to this, don't lift your knee too high. If you want more challenge, speed up the movement slightly, about 10-15%. If you have back pain, keep your shoulders back and only bend forward a little. Dr. Warren's advice. I often tell my patients, this is the exercise that teaches your body to work as one team. It's not enough to just have strong muscles. It's how those muscles work together that determines whether you walk smoothly, turn safely, and react quickly when something unexpected happens. Do this 3 times a week, and you'll start to feel your steps more fluid, your mind clearer, your hand-foot coordination more natural. It's especially helpful if you feel unsteady when you turn your head or change direction quickly. Exercise 6, controlled side-to-side weight shift. Improving balance when you shift your weight. When people talk about fall risk after 60, they usually mention walking style, shoes, or slippery floors. But in actual clinical practice, I see something even more important. Your ability to shift your weight from side to side. For example, you step to the side to avoid someone, or lean over the counter to reach something. If your weight shifts too quickly, or your hip muscles on each side are weak, your body can easily lose balance. Walking doesn't train this skill. It mostly moves your weight forward and back. The controlled lateral weight shift trains exactly what your body needs for everyday life. Why this exercise is so important after 60. 1. It improves balance when changing direction. Where most falls happen, studies show that more than 60% of falls in older adults happen when they turn or lean, not just when walking straight. This exercise trains a skill that regular walking completely misses. 2. It strengthens your side hip muscles, the hinges of your balance. When your hip muscles are weak, stepping sideways feels hard. Your legs feel heavy, and you wobble easily when reaching to the left or right. Side-to-side weight shifts activate these muscles in a very natural way. 3. It builds confidence when stepping sideways, backing up, or turning. These 3 directions, sideways, backward, and turning, tend to scare older adults the most. But when you learn to control your center of gravity, your confidence rises quickly. How to do it? Safe version. Stand tall with your feet just a little wider than shoulder width. Place your hands on your hips or lightly rest them on the back of a chair in front of you for safety. Slowly shift your weight onto your left foot, feeling more pressure under your left sole. Hold for 1 second without lifting your right foot. Then slowly shift your weight onto your right foot the same way. Repeat 20-24 times total, 10-12 times each side. If you're just starting, make the shift smaller. If you want more challenge, gently lift the toes of the non-weight-bearing foot as you shift. If your hips are stiff, use a smaller range of motion for the first 1-2 weeks. Dr. Warren's advice. I think of this exercise as a fundamental lesson for all the movements you do at home. Stepping sideways, opening the fridge, reaching across the table, turning when someone calls your name. When you can control your center of gravity, you will walk more steadily, turn with more confidence, sharply reduce your risk of falling when stepping sideways, and feel your hips getting stronger and more mobile. Just 5 minutes a day can create a very real change. Exercise 7. Gentle lumbar rotation. Loosen your low back and hips and improve your breathing. If you wake up in the morning with a stiff back, or it takes you longer to bend down and tie your shoes, this exercise is made for you. One of the quiet changes after 60 is the loss of flexibility in the lower back, the area that connects directly to your hips and the nerves running down into your legs. When that area gets stiff, you may find it hard to turn your body, stand up more slowly, lose balance more easily when reaching, feel a heavy back when you walk for a long time. Walking doesn't release that tension, but gentle lumbar rotation can, in a soft, very safe way. Why this exercise matters for older adults. 1. It releases pressure on the nerves that go down into your legs. Many patients are surprised when I tell them, your lower back has a direct impact on your balance. When the low back is too tight, nerve signals to your legs become slower and less precise. Gentle rotation helps lower that pressure so signals can travel more smoothly. 2. It improves the connection between your hips and your spine. Strong hips with a stiff back are the clumsy movement. Strong back with stiff hips are an unstable movement. This exercise helps those two areas work together more smoothly. 3. It increases your range of motion and helps you breathe deeper. Every time you twist, your diaphragm gets a subtle stretch too, which helps you take fuller breaths. Deeper breathing, more relaxation, steadier reflexes, more confident walking. How to do it: gentle and beginner-friendly. Sit on a sturdy chair with your back upright. Place your right hand on your left knee. Place your left hand on the back of the chair for support. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, gently twist your upper body to the left, only as far as is comfortable, never into pain. Hold for 2 seconds, return to center. Repeat to the right side. Do 8 to 10 repetitions each way. If your back is sensitive, twist very lightly, only about 20-30% of your full range. If you want extra benefit, close your eyes for 1-2 seconds at the end of the twist to improve body awareness. If your back hurts a lot, cut your range of motion in half. Dr. Warren's advice. A stiff back isn't simply old age, like many people think. Most of the time, it's because your body no longer gets those gentle twisting movements you used to do naturally. Turning to grab things, bending to pick something up, rotating while cooking. Just a few minutes of this exercise each day can help you. Turn more easily, bend down with less effort, reduce tension in your lower back, and improve your balance when changing direction. The best part? Your body starts to feel lighter again after only a few sessions. Bringing it all together. You've just walked with me through 7 gentle but very intentional exercises, each one aimed at a specific weak spot many people over 60 struggle with. Weak hips, stiff ankles, slow reflexes, difficulty turning, or poor balance when changing direction. On this journey, we didn't rely on walking alone. We've reactivated your hips and spine, woken up your vestibular system, your inner balance center, trained your anti-fall reflexes, strengthened your ankles and calves, improved your ability to stand up and sit down, sharpened hand-foot coordination, and released deep tightness in your lower back. These exercises don't require equipment, don't demand high fitness levels, and most importantly, they're suitable for anyone over 60, even if you feel like you've already slowed down. What I hope you remember is this: real strength in later life doesn't come from heavy, punishing workouts. It comes from the right movements, done regularly, that match the body you have today. A gentle challenge from Dr. Warren: start with just one exercise. Give it 3 minutes. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Tomorrow morning, when you take your first steps out of bed, pay attention to how your body responds. And if you stick with this 3 to 4 times a week, you'll feel steadier steps, quicker reactions, smoother turns, and most importantly, more confidence in everything you do. Age doesn't take away your ability to move. It simply reminds us to move smarter. If you found these exercises helpful, I'd love for you to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs it. You can also leave a comment. I'm starting with exercise number Jex Shani. I read every single comment, and it's a joy to see you making progress, one small step at a time. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and does not replace personal medical advice. If you have chronic conditions, acute pain, or have recently had surgery, please talk to your doctor before starting these exercises.